Once we've gone past these three major groups of primary minerals, we can then look at the secondary minerals. Now you'll recall that secondary are formed as a result of the breakdown of the primary. So these are no longer original minerals. These are reformed minerals as the result of weathering and change in composition of the primary minerals. The secondary minerals, if we looked at their total quantity in the mineral matter in the soil, would be found in a lower amount than would be the primary minerals. However, if we look at the active soil forming environment, and by this I mean where soils are most actively developing or weathering near the surface, we actually see the secondary minerals being more prevalent. And I think that would make sense because as we look at the weathering and development of the soil, it's only going to occur where chemical and physical processes are going to be most intense, which is at the surface of the soil. And there, primary minerals, as they weather and break down, form into secondary. We see a buildup of the content of the secondary minerals, somewhat at the expense of the content of the primary minerals. We will spend most of our time in this unit on mineral matter discussing the secondary minerals. Why do we do that? Because the secondary minerals, being being secondary in origin and more prevalent near the Earth's surface, are going to have a more direct influence upon the type of soil that has developed in that particular area and the inherent capacity of that soil to supply nutrients to plants that would grow there. So these secondary minerals are going to be discussed in detail towards the latter part of this unit, after we look at the basic structure of all types of minerals. If we start out looking at the composition of minerals in the soil, what I want to do is to start with the most simple, basic component of a mineral and see how that develops. And what I mean by that is that if we took a mineral and broke it into its most simple component, that component would be called an element. Now, I think we should recall from our chemistry that elements are pure substances. These are substances that are made up of all one type of atom. So in other words, if we talk about an element, we're talking about things such as those I previously mentioned, like silicon, like oxygen, like iron, magnesium, aluminum, etc. Well, there are somewhere in excess of 110 different elements that we know of within the Earth's environment. We are not going to be utilizing all 110 of those elements in looking at the composition of minerals. Rather, we're actually going to only be dealing with probably somewhat less than 30 different elements, and that will include those that are found primarily in the mineral matter as well as the organic matter in the soil, the two solid phases.